Next, I'm going to go to Chapter 5 Worksheet, and I'm going to add a field in column L that says 360. And in this column, I want to restrict the entries for my data. I only want the entries to contain whole numbers that fall between 1 and 5. This is what we call in Excel data validation, and this is when you can restrict the entries to certain rules that you specify. For question number 25, we are asked to create a rule where users can only enter whole numbers from 1 to 5. There's an input message and an alert message. So how do we do this? First of all, I'm going to select my range, and then I'm going to go to Data, and then under Data Tools, I'm going to hit Data Validation. For the settings, I am going to allow not for any value, but only for a whole number. And the data needs to be between 1 and 5. For the input message, I am going to enter a number on a scale from 1 to 5. For the error alert, I'm going to type in invalid entry, and I'm going to hit OK. So now when you hover over any of the cells, it's going to give me the input message, enter a number on a scale from 1 to 5. If I try putting in 6, for example, it's going to give me an error message that says invalid entry. You can retry or cancel. I'm going to retry and put in 2, and I'm going to hit enter. It's going to accept it. This controls how data is entered into your worksheet and into your table. Another way to controlling this is by creating a drop-down list. These lists are great to use when you want to specify a certain selection for your users to choose from. For question number 26, we are going to add a new field, and we are going to call it rating. And we are going to be creating a drop-down list where users have the option of entering either an excellent rating, an average one, a poor, or none. My data is going to be in column P, starting at P14, and I'm going to type in excellent, average, poor, or none. This is us telling Excel that we only want users to be able to enter one of these 4 options. These are the valid entries that they can choose from. In other words, these are the items that are going to go into my list. Now, let's set up this list. I'm going to select my range, and then I'm going to go to Data. Under Data Tools, I'm going to go to Data Validation, and under Settings, instead of selecting any value, I'm going to select List. And the source of the list is going to be the range P14 all the way until P17. And I'm going to hit OK. So now when I go to enter data in, let's say, M4, I can only select one of these 4 options. I'm going to select poor, I'm going to select excellent, and so on. Note that you can also type in the options that you want to be listed instead of making a list and having it as your source. So I'm going to show you how this is done, but this is not a requirement in your classwork. So I'm going to select this cell, and I'm going to go to Data, Data Tools, Data Validation, and I'm going to select List. And for the source, I'm just going to enter my words separated by commas. So I'm going to say great, average, and bad, and I'm going to select OK. And now users can choose between great, average, or bad. I'm going to undo. And now for the final steps, the instructions are asking us to enter number 5 into L4 and excellent into M4. So I'm going to go to L4 and I'm going to add 5. It should work because it's a whole number between 1 and 5. And for the rating, I'm going to choose excellent. Now, last but not least, there's one thing I want to draw your attention to. Invalid data can still be entered, such as when you copy or fill in data. Let me show you an example. So I'm going to go to number 5 here, and I'm going to, fill in the data based on a series. And as you can see, all these numbers are not between 1 and 5, and they're invalid entries. Excel has a tool that circles the invalid data. So I'm going to select my range. I'm going to go to Data Tools again. Under Data Validation, I'm going to select Circle Invalid Data. And as you can see, Excel is going to circle in red all the data that is invalid, which in my case is not between 1 and 5. Now if you want to remove the circles, just make your selection again and go to Data Validation and click on Clear Validation Circles, and all the circles are removed.